Hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Alright, so I figured out what's wrong with that hen in there. Her foot's all swollen up with knots and stuff on it. I don't know what that's called, but I call it bumblefoot. I don't know. But I don't know what to do to make it better. But she is up and moving around. She just don't use that foot much, you know. She limps on it pretty bad. But other than that, she's doing fine. She's still coming out in the yard. And I had a hen over on this side that was, yep, she's still sitting around in there. Her whole leg's bothering her. I don't know what's going on with her. She may have fell off the rooster or something and hurt herself, but it's been about a week and she's still not moving around a whole lot. She gets up and eats and comes out when I throw out scratching stuff. So I don't know what to do about those two. About the only thing I know about chickens is if they're broody and they won't, basically they run a temperature, a high temp when they get broody. And if you put an aspirin or something, break it, crumble it up and put it in the water, it'll break that fever and they'll quit being broody. That's about the only thing I really know about chickens, other than just giving them plenty of food and water and place to run around a little bit. But they seem to be doing all right other than that. That big red Rhode Island Red was chasing that little baby around. But I believe this black, brown, and white one is going to be a rooster. Don't know. But he has the stance of a rooster, the way he walks and all that, or I'm saying he. And I believe one over here is also going to be a rooster. You see the two laying there, the one on the right. It's got much longer tail feathers, bigger comb, darker red. I'm about positive that's going to be a rooster as well. But that's all right. Roosters get old after a while. But let me walk over and show y'all something. So I finally found the red wasp nest. I've had this bag of 7 dust, I think it is. Yeah, 7 dust. For probably 7, 8, 10 years sitting up on this railing up here. And I moved it down to there. They made a nest inside the cup that was in there. See that big old nest? And then there was a smaller one also off the edge of the bag. They were inside that bag and flying in and out of it. That's why I couldn't find them in the box. And I'd sprayed all in the box and never could kill them. But I did find them and I killed them all. Well, there's a few still flying around that got away, but most of them are dead. And I've been trying to get the generator to crank. I couldn't get it to crank on propane, so I tried gas, and it's coming out. The little valve down here on the bottom left is pouring out right down there. So I got to figure out why that's happening. I do have a new, that's not actually a regulator, I forget what they call it, but I do have a new one of those in the house that I could change if I needed to. But shouldn't be acting up like that either way. All right, and I did go ahead and pull the last 3 squash plants that were in these raised beds. They were ate up with the vine borers. This plant on this side had almost a dozen more squash growing, but every one of them had vine borers in them, and I just pulled it and mulched it up out here in the grass. And they were tearing them things up. And I've got one last one that was growing in this pot that took forever to start off, but it's growing now, and it's actually got a squash growing on it. I doubt it's going to last very long, but anyway, there it is. Dadgummit, I should have pulled that weed earlier. I did pull some from around here. I've got to do a little bit more, but I pulled the biggest parts and some weeds out. So I've got a lot more to go. I think that watermelon's got a hole in it that's been drilled in it toward the bottom, and it's not ready to pick yet. So if it does, I'm probably going to pick it in the next day or two and go ahead and pull all these vines up and get these beds closed and done with. Get all my cages and stuff picked up too. So the garden's over with, at least until I decide to plant something else. It's going to have to be something that the vine borers won't kill. I need those to go away. All right. My hitch for the bicycle wagon did come in. So I'm not going to put it on the bike right this minute or right now. I will put it on there eventually. But I need to get those tires fixed first so they hold air like they're supposed to. And then I'll worry about it. There's no need to put the hitch on until I can actually use the wagon. So I got to get those taken off and get them fixed. So other than that, things are going pretty good. I have not finished cutting. My buddy from church that brought me the honeybee hive, he was here today when I got home from church checking that hive, and he's talking about bringing another box, an add-on box for the top, and putting the thing in it that blocks the queen from going up there, just so the bees can start putting honey in there and she can't get to it. And anyway, he said it's a very strong hive. The queen is doing her job. It's doing very well. He's talking about splitting it by the end of our warm season down here. I know summer's almost officially over with, but in southwest Georgia, we've got another month and a half before it starts really cooling down. So he's talking about splitting that hive into two, and hopefully it'll continue to thrive after that. But anyway, so I got that project going on, trying to get the generator running like it's supposed to. And I need to get the tires done on this bicycle wagon. And eventually I need to get to take my snips out here and cut the cardboard off the bike, the motorized bike, and get that cardboard over to my brother's and make me some out of metal and bring it back and put it on there. So, but it's out of the rain from where it is, so it doesn't have to be done right now. So, a few little projects that take up a little bit of time. We've been getting some rain just about every day. It has not rained today, but for the last 3 or 4 days, we've got some rain every day, at least a 1/4 inch. And it adds up when you get a little bit every day. But it stormed yesterday evening. Bad enough I didn't come out and gather the eggs because I just didn't want to get out in. I mean, it rained hard for about 30-45 minutes, and then it continued raining for another hour or so after that. So I didn't gather the eggs, and I have filled up their feeder over here. I'm going to finish filling those two when I go in a little bit and gather the eggs. And of course I'll freshen their waterers and all at that time too. But as you see, they're all fat and happy. Half of them are laying around doing nothing. So that's a good thing, I guess. But anyway, really didn't get another video made. So I figured I better do this so y'all have something on Monday morning. And, my numbers are still fluctuating like crazy. They finally got back up to I think it's 755. And they were at 759, and it's dropped. Now it's down like 753. So it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And, I understand some people will mass subscribe and then unsubscribe later, but I really do think that's just a suppression I'm getting out of YouTube, because my channel has always done that. But when I went in earlier and added a little feeder to this one and filled that one up, I counted the eggs that were there, and then there'll be, some eggs over here too. But, I mean, I'm probably going to get 24 to 30 eggs today. So, it's somewhere in that ballpark. All right, Junior, do your job. So, hopefully we have a short summer, I call it, because normally it's so hot down here in southwest Georgia all the way through August and early September that you really can't do much outside. But the humidity is still high. But the temperatures are actually down a little bit right now. So hopefully they won't go back up into the, 100 mark and we'll be able to get something done. I did fill his food and water yesterday, got him taken care of. So when I was out here messing around, sorry, I turned all the way around on y'all. I caught 3 bulldogs, some kind of, you know, shorter legged bulldogs going down the dirt road. I believe they were following some kids or whatever on 4-wheelers or a vehicle or something. But they didn't come in the yard. They just kept on going by the house. And yesterday evening, I was trying to keep an eye on it because we don't need loose dogs out here and them getting back into my pens anymore. So yesterday evening I was watching, and sure enough, 2 of them came back into the yard right here. And I grabbed my 12 gauge and came outside, and I shot into the ground. I didn't shoot the dogs, but I shot close to the ground to where they were and scared them off. Hopefully they will not come back, because if I have that same problem again, I don't know what I'll do. But anyway, hope it's different type dogs, so hopefully I scared them off and they'll go wherever they're supposed to go, and people will learn to put their dad-burn dogs on leashes or chains or cages or something. But anyway, I'm hoping I don't have that problem again. So all right, let's see. I had another project I did on my truck where I mounted my CB radio in it. I know my truck's dirty, sorry y'all, but where I mounted the radio, this panel started cracking and it wasn't holding. So I took it back out and put a small piece of board inside of it and screwed through into it. That way it wouldn't put any pressure on one spot and crack that. So, yep, didn't close good. But other than that, haven't gotten a lot done other than working and the normal everyday chores. So I want to get those tarps pulled out, but I'm trying to wait on my last watermelon before I pull those vines and get the garden beds kind of raked up and churned up and throw some more of my compost in there, and then cover them with a tarp and close them off for a few months while they sit there. But we'll just see how that comes out. I'm probably not going to get that last watermelon. I'm not going to get my hopes up. But anyway, other than that, things are going pretty good. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. He is barking at something. Let's see what it is. A lot of times, my brother-in-law comes into their driveway taking their trash out or getting the mail or whatever. My dog barks at him, you know, just basically saying hello. But I don't see anybody over there, so hopefully it's not those dad-burn dogs coming back. If it is, I'll deal with it when it happens. But either way, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for the subscribers sticking with me and hitting the thumbs up and all that good stuff, guys. Every video is not going to be exciting. Every video is not going to be talking about prepping like I did the last time. You know, are you dependent or are you free? You know, it's a question most people don't really think about it. But if you can't go months or even longer without going to the grocery store or somewhere to get supplies, you're not free. You're not 100% free. You're dependent. And that's not a good way to be. We need to be more free and grow more of our own food, raise more of our own food. And, you know, I'll never be able to do it as good as the Macs do over there, but I try. I'm trying to grow some stuff. I've got a lot of food put up, but it's just not, it's not going to be an unlimited supply. But either way, I appreciate y'all very much. Remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. I've got to get the water out of this thing before the mosquitoes start breeding in it. That's how much rain we've got in the last week or so. That's a lot, y'all. It's a foot deep right there in the middle. Got to figure out how I'm going to get the water out of it. It's too heavy to pick up. But either way, I'm gonna put this camera up and see if I can't do something with it before I start having a mosquito infestation because of it. So y'all have a great day. Be careful, be safe.